Hello，大家好啊！上幾集咧呢個英國節目啊，Nicholas 就請咗呢個英國培訓師Minesh 就分享咗好多有用嘅資訊啦。今次咧又由Nicholas 同Minesh 又再分享多啲嘅資訊俾各位觀眾啦。請大家欣賞。交個時間俾Nicholas 啦。
各位跟住落嚟咧，又由我哋喺英國嘅培訓師 Minesh 同大家講解下咧，關於佢喺培訓方面嘅見解同埋一啲嘅資料嘅。咁由於 Minesh 咧，佢唔識講廣東話，咁所以咧，以下嘅節目咧會由英文嚟到進行嘅，希望大家去欣賞。
Hi Minesh, nice
Hi.
to see you again.
Nice to meet you.
So, what you got for us this week?
This week, we're talking about self-education.
So, what do you mean by self-education?
Well, self-education, when you go to school, you go to college, university, you're taught what's called academic qualifications. You're taught academic education, but you're not taught anything about life in general. See, when you buy something electronic, it comes with a user manual. So how to use it. But when you're born, you don't come with a user manual. You have to learn everything along the way. But when you go to school, college, or university, the only thing they teach you is how to get a job. They don't teach you life skills. They don't teach you how to live your
frankly,
life.
I wonder whether they teach you how to get a job. But frankly, because regarding, for example, English, math, science, and all this, yes, those are the basic requirements. However, how good your English will be and how good your math will be might not actually enable you to get a job.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And the problem is we don't develop communication skills. We don't develop skills for, say, a job interview. You're never taught that. You're never taught how to make money. You're never taught how to do taxes. You're never taught how to look after your health. There's nothing that you're actually taught that benefits your life in general. What you're taught is how to get a job.
Yeah.
So you'll go to university, get really good qualifications to get a high-level job. But it's still only a job. But how do you talk to colleagues? How do you talk to your supervisors? How do you talk to other people? How do you know your communications? You don't, because you're never taught that kind of thing. And this is why self-education is very, very
I
important.
do agree with you because, well, our audience, I think most of them are investors. So, well, frankly, in our secondary school days, there's nothing in the school that tell us how to invest.
True.
What's the meaning of stock market and stock market in Hong Kong, stock market in London, stock market in New York.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have any knowledge regarding this. And apart from this, how about bonds? How about funds?
Yeah.
And all those, and investment in real estates, properties.
True.
But, well, I would say that, yes, when you go to universities, regarding some subjects that you will choose, for example, business or finance, things like this.
Yes.
You will have a chance to learn all this.
Yeah.
However, if I don't have a chance to go to university, I'm just a secondary school graduate. But from my savings, I do have money to invest.
Yeah.
But how can I invest? What can I invest? There's no news.
Yeah. Well, this is why self-education comes in. So if you don't, let's say you do have some money to invest, but you're not sure where to invest it.
Yep.
Number one, if you have some kind of understanding of investments, you'll be able to make wiser choice rather than just say, oh, I'll put it here, put it there.
Yep.
So again, you could educate yourself on that particular thing. So it could be you could educate yourself on bonds and how they work, how you invest, what they are. You can do the same for mutual funds. You could do the same for stocks and shares. The more you understand a subject, the better you can make good choices and good decisions.
But how to do it?
Well, online, you could go online and learn virtually anything nowadays. And it all happens because you want to do that. Sometimes people will say, oh, I just want to do this, I want to invest in this, but do you know enough to make a wise choice in investing in that? Or do you know enough, say, like you say, for the job interview, do you know enough to go into that interview and have a good chance of getting the job?
Yep.
Again, all that comes down to self-education. The more you educate yourself, the more chances you will have and a better life you will have. Because, as you know, knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more you can accomplish.
I do have a different interpretation regarding knowledge is power. I would rather say the application
Correct.
of knowledge
Yes.
is power.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people, they know a lot, but they don't
They
know
don't
how to
use it.
apply it in
Yeah.
their daily life.
True,
So
true,
it
they
might not
don't.
be power.
That's true, that's true. I mean, for instance, when I went to school and I did my GCSEs many, many years ago, I actually finished my GCSEs in 1988, but I failed all of them.
You look younger.
I failed every single one. So I didn't get to go to college,
Yeah.
no university, yet due to self-education and over 400 self-help books and personal growth books, self-improvement, I now run my own business. I'm actually a speaker. I go around the country speaking. I have 2 books that are sold all around the world. I'm a therapist. I'm a coach. And yet, it's all down to self-education, not academic qualifications.
So how can the audience, benefit, from this principle, self-education? How can they do it?
Okay, one of the best ways to start on your self-education journey is find out what it is that you would like to know. How would knowing one thing improve an aspect of your life? So let's say wherever it is that you work, let's say that every week or so you have to give a presentation of some kind, but your presentation skills aren't that good and you're not getting the response you want. You could educate yourself in giving better presentation skills, being more influential in what you're doing, so you will get a better response from your team. Again, that's all down to self-education. Right now, you may not know all the presentation skills and how you can put something forward to get a good response. But if you learnt a bit about it, which, online you can learn virtually everything nowadays, and you learn how to apply it and you start applying it bit by bit, you'll get better and better. And as you get better and better, you'll be able to influence your team better. So just find one thing. You don't have to educate yourself and start changing everything all at once. Find one thing that's most important that you think, okay, if I knew more about this, it would benefit me a lot. So find that one thing and go learn as much as you can about it and start applying it. Don't just learn it. As Nicholas says, knowledge is power only if you apply it. So if you don't apply it, it's useless to you. So learn it, get the knowledge and start applying it. Even if it's not very good at first, doesn't matter. Practice it, keep going. And you'll notice that the more you learn, the better you get at something. And the better you get, the more your life improves. So why wouldn't you do that?
In fact, that I recall an experience, from a young guy. He is the son of one of my friends. So what he told me is that, before he applied for a university, one of the top ones
Yes.
in the UK. In fact, psychology is the subject he wants.
Okay.
So he can imagine that, they will be interviewed, and he can imagine that one of the question that the interviewer will ask is, what makes you think that psychology is the subject for you? And the number 2 question is, how long have you been prepared for the interview today?
Yeah.
So actually, this young guy, In his secondary school, he have some online training courses offered by some very famous universities. Well, of course, it's for laymen. It's
Yes,
not
yeah.
for university students. So it's relatively more simple.
Yes.
But it's an online course, for a few years, step by step, and on completion of every step, he got a certificate.
Right.
Yeah, and also, the course itself is not very expensive.
Right.
It's kind of a cheap one. So during the interview, the answer for him to the interviewer is, yes, you are quite right, Mr. Interviewer. Some years before, when I picked psychology as my subject, I'm not quite sure. That's why I applied for this online course.
Right.
And then I learned more about what psychology is and all this. Yes, is comparatively a simple one.
Yes.
Then, I'm getting a university degree. But I've been studying for 2 years and I got some certificates.
Yes.
It proved one point, that psychology is the subject I like.
Yeah. True. True.
Number two is, as you asked me just now, how long have I prepared for this interview? Honestly, I'm telling you that, Mr. Interviewer, I've prepared for more than 2 years.
Of course, the length of the course.
Yeah, when I've prepared
Yeah.
all the things for the course. So I prepared that this will be one day that I'll be sitting in front of you and you ask me this same question. How can I answer?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
There might be some other applicants academically better than what I do. But frankly, I don't think they will spend 2 years.
True.
Two, number one, prove that psychology is the subject that they really, really, really like. And number two is that they prepared this interview for 2 years.
Correct.
What do you think?
Correct. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what
It's all down to how much effort you're willing to put into yourself to improve yourself. Like, for instance, I've been learning self-education now because I failed all my GCSEs and I had no other options since the age of 16, and I'm 51 now. So if you think about how long I've been learning this is why I know so much. This is why I can just present off the top of my head. I don't need notes or nothing like that. It's all knowledge. But that knowledge I'm able to apply and help others improve their lives. So it's very beneficial. It's not just the fact that I'm getting the knowledge and I know it and I'm improving my life, but I'm using that now to improve others, and I gain the benefit from it as well, because number one, they're very happy with the way their life has turned out. And secondly, I get rewarded for it in terms of payment. So it's a win-win for both sides, but you have to be willing to put the effort in to learn something new. We don't all have good communication skills. Years ago, there's no way I could even speak to people, new people. I would never speak to them because I was too shy. So I had to learn how to become confident. Again, that's a skill. You never taught that in school. You have to learn that yourself, but there are ways in which you can do. So it's these kinds of life skills that you need to apply through self-education. Again, just like Nicholas gave the example, learning how to give an interview, you need to learn how to do that before you do it. The example I gave, if you want to invest in something, learn about those investments first before you just start investing, because you'll have more of a better idea of what you're doing rather than just putting money into something and hoping that it works out. So self-improvement is very good, and educating yourself in any aspect of your life, even if it's like, you have an interest in cooking certain dishes, you could learn how to cook new types of dishes by watching online videos. So anything at all can be improved just to give your life a better, not just an improvement, but you'll be a lot more happier because you have more knowledge of something that you can apply into your own life that not only benefits you, but probably your family, your colleagues, a whole host of people. But you have to be willing to do that. Just saying, I have these qualifications from university and everything's fine, there's always something that you need improving. So it's well worth putting in that little bit of effort, and you'll be amazed how good it feels once you have that and you start applying it, and your life becomes a lot easier when you do those things. So self-education, very, very important. I mean, I've been doing it, like I said, from the age of 16, and I'm 51 now. So it's a long time, and I still study, even now. Every day I will read for 1 hour, every single day, without fail. And I have been doing since the age of 16.
Okay, so talking about self-education, we're talking about a big subject here.
Yeah.
How can the audience pick one subject that they can do
Right.
for a month
Yeah.
and see what happens?
Correct. So let's say, for example, you want to improve your communication skills. So you want to improve the way you talk to someone and the way people react to you, etc. What you can do is simply go online or go and get a book on communication skills and learn from that book or the course on how to communicate better with different types of people. Then start applying that into your life when you meet random people. Just speak to them and use the skills you have learned. And you'll notice that bit by bit, as you start applying that, it becomes automatic. You don't have to keep thinking, oh, right, let me say it this way. Let me use these words. Let me stand like this. Let me, anything you do will become automatic because you've learned those skills and your mind is now seeing it as a habit. Once it becomes a habit, you just start talking automatically. And you will certainly improve how you communicate with other people, whether it's someone at a senior level or whether it's someone at the same level, whether it's someone younger, it will make no difference because you now have that skill. In the same way, if it's not communication skills, what is it that you, if you improved it in some way, would better your life? Think about that question. And after this video, write down what it is, that one thing that if you learned more about it would improve your life in some way. And then write that down, and for the next week, go and learn about it. And start applying it. But apply it for a full 30 days. Every single day, start applying what you have learned. And then at the end of 30 days, notice what happens and notice how much it's impacted your life. Then leave a comment and tell me how it's impacted your life. And you'll notice that there's a change within you.
And again, as what we said in the last episode, so you can put your comments, in the comments column. And if you think that writing in Chinese will be better for you, will suit you more, do have it in Chinese, because I can do the translation to Minesh.
Okay.
So that's all for today, right?
It is all for today, yes.
And see you next week.
Okay. See you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.